Hey guys, welcome back. It has been a while since I have made any type of commentary video or anything of any video of that sort until the past week. I took a long break from Bloxburg because I got so burnt out and I have been back for about now trying to make videos again, making houses. Well, I went on Faulty's live stream about a week ago, touring builds, and I have been bombarded so much with different things about this build in particular, which I am absolutely thankful for. And his reaction to it, I didn't think I was going to get anything from it. I just was hoping and praying that I was even going to get into the server, let alone seeing his and hearing his reaction. It was so heartwarming. I'm so happy that he enjoyed it that much. I just want to say thank you again to him and French Roses. They are really awesome YouTubers, and I'm so happy they liked it. Anyways, I have been asked so many times whether, can you please build me this? Can you please just make me a layout? Can you please show me something? Can you please do this? Please. I, I want to be clear that even though I would love to build for you or do whatever, one cannot recreate something like this a second time, and two, I don't have the time or luxury to build for you. I've tried in the past, and it's always a headache. So it's a no. It's always going to be a no. But I would love to see you try. I would love to it. I actually ran into a girl earlier today. About a year ago, I made a different city, a small industrial apartment, and she asked if she could recreate it. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I would love that. And I ran into her like an hour ago. She made an amazing her own spin on it and cyberpunk themed, and it was so cute. And she did such an amazing job. And if she does end up watching, which I hope she does, you did awesome. Like, I was blown out of the water, and I was so happy. Like, to see something like that I had thought of and then like see you not only like put your own spin on it but make it better and make it your own. It was amazing. It's the first time anyone's ever done that, so it meant a lot to see. Anyways, the point of the video today is I am going to do like a small tips and tricks and like kind of touring it and showing you what I did on certain things to help, because I have been asked a few times to do a video like this for the specific build. Now I have made another city since this, and I think it's way better than this build, and I can't wait to show it off. And hopefully I do get into Faulty's next live stream, because I think I will absolutely kill him with this next one. But I have a few tips and tricks. I'm going to try to keep the video as short as possible, because I did film this already, and it was an hour long. So I'm trying to rush through it. And last time my mic didn't pick either. That was fun to have to redo all of it again. The first tip is a couple of different things. First off, you need to keep in mind how much money you're going to spend on a build. I spent 2.725 whatever million dollars on this city, and it is based in Portugal. I called it Euro City because honestly, I didn't think most people would know where it's at. When I've said it before, people didn't know, so like I just tried to play it safe, but I don't care. It's from Portugal. Specifically Porto is a lot of inspiration I got from it, which I'll show about it in a second. But keep in mind that you could spend more than this. You could spend less than this. Like, if I didn't use real water, yeah, I could have saved a lot of money, or didn't go into the basement or whatever. But it looks good, so keep that in mind. The second thing is your plot data. So my plot data here is 97.8 plus 50%. Now, I did hit plot data, like I always hit max plot data recently on all my builds. I understand why Bloxburg does it. I try to get on my phone, and my phone will literally overheat and not pull up the builds, or say low memory warning when I try to pull up some of these builds. I am on a custom built PC right now, so obviously it can pull up it in an instant. So I don't know if there's anything that could be done. It'd be nice to have more plot data, but I understand why they do it. So you need to keep that in mind when you're building. The last thing is, if you have multiple floor game passes and the basement game pass, I suggest utilizing the basement because it's an extra floor when you're doing these tall buildings. But it does take up plot data, it does take up money. So you have to juggle all three of these things at all times when you're building something this large. Now, with this, I built this bridge first. And the reason I built this bridge first is because that is my focal point. My next tip is to have a focal point of your build. You can make an amazing city, but I think it is so much more unique when you have a city with something that draws your attention to it. Like, if I had just made a bunch of orange roof buildings, it would not have looked as good as it does now. So this bridge is based on the real life Porto Bridge, so I got a picture of it. Now there are some constraints that I had to work with because this is a very hilly terrain. I knew I wanted to put that into it as well, and I knew there was 2 roads. So first off, this bridge is on the first floor, and then the second story, this is on the 3rd floor instead of the second one, because if I put it on the second one where these beams are, it would have been very, I wanted it to be a very large bridge. The second thing is, like, I made these, and you see this road, but obviously this is Bloxburg, so I did make them, got hidden, but it's fine. And the buildings are right up against the bridge, which isn't like it is in real life, but again, this is Bloxburg. So I just wanted to capture the essence of the city, and that's how I did it. So the next point I'm going to go into is you don't need a layout. So many people ask me, what is the layout? Was like, I don't know. I freehanded. So I knew I wanted the bridge. I made the bridge first, and then I dug into the basement. I made the waterways and all that. Then I figured out, okay, how am I going to connect these floors? So this top floor, and then I had to make the bottom floor connect. So the bottom floor, let me actually go into build mode because it's a little bit easier to show. The bottom floor comes out here, but the top floor curves down right here. So if I went in here, that's the first floor of the bridge, and then 2 floors up from that is the next floor of the bridge. So you see how it forks right here? And then I made the roads kind of how I would want them, and then I made this back road right here. And then I had to end the road, obviously, so that's all there is to the layout. I didn't need 8 or 9 different streets and roads and stuff to do all this. You don't need to do all that. It's unnecessary. So that's the basic layout of what I did. So I did the bridge first, the waterway, then I kind of made the roads. And then I also had, which is my next tip, houses all through here and like several buildings, and it looked so crowded. I started deleting them. Same thing in here. I had more in here besides just this one. And it looked bad. Like, imagine if all this was just houses. No, it looked better to just knock them out and make greenery. And that's my next tip, I guess, is like these little awkward things is okay. And so way to fix that is put some greenery there. So I made a roof, a flat roof, and I raised it up, and then I covered it with the wall. And same thing over here. This is not my favorite way to do terrains at all. But I want to get that rocky kind of feel to it. See how like there's like different elevations, and that's kind of why I did that. And I also hate it. It is my pet peeve when the buildings go all the way up against the plot, because then you can't like have anything in the back, and the back matters. Don't forget the back of your bills. Like, this is my least favorite part because it's just flat, and I can't help it. But please don't do that. It looks bad. Protect your back. Please, please, please do the back of your builds. Please. I know like they talk about French roses back in the old days, and it's funny, but please do the back of your builds. Please. It makes the whole build look good. Like, if your front looks good and your back looks good, your whole build is just better automatically. The next thing is having a basic plan. So I didn't go in thinking I need a grocery store, I need this and this and no. I went in, I said I want it to be Portugal. I know how the roofs are going to look. And then I want it to have the bridge. I want waterways, and I wanted this train. And at first I had the water all the way up here, and it was, you're only going to be able to get to the other side through the bridge. That was like the original plan. And obviously this goes out to ocean, so I cut that off and made it look pretty, just, you know, for aesthetic reasons. But I wanted a train. I was like, I don't have room for a train station, so I cut all the water out and made a street up there. I thought it looked better. And then I made the train out of full basic shapes. It is $93,000, and that's missing some parts still, so it's probably more than that. It is based off of this train. They have several of them over there. But I thought it was cute. Another little hack is I use a radio, and I'll come up here and play train sounds on the radio that I get from the Roblox studio. So that way when people are walking around, it gives them like the feeling that they're actually here. Another thing is make sure your roads, you don't have to be huge and wide. Like in Europe, the roads are usually kind of smaller than roads, so I get by with making them a little smaller. It doesn't have to be super, super realistic. There's a time and a place for everything. And this was not the time and the place for that. So I think it's like 4 wide is what I made the roads. 4 wide. So my next tip is less is more. I'm at max plot data, and I did not do that many custom windows. Like this one is a plank and structurals, but it's copy and pastable. And I copied and pasted the crap out of everything and just recolored and used the real doors. Like you can use the doors from in-game, and then I made custom doors. Would it have looked nice to have all custom things? Yes. These lanterns are awesome. They're my favorite lanterns, and they cost 7K, and I can make a tutorial on how to make them later. But I did not use them everywhere. I put them in like the main spots, and then I used the other lanterns because we don't have the plot data to do all that. So it's sad, but like if I could, yeah, I would wanted to do the roofs and make them custom and put every single tile up there. But I couldn't. So I used what we had in Bloxburg. And that's fine. So get used to using some of the in-game stuff. It doesn't have to be this amazing custom. I would say that's about it for my tips and tricks, at least in this city. I have another city that I made, like I said, which I will showcase and make little videos about soon. But for now, on this, I'll go ahead and show the layout. It is literally just 2 streets and a street around, so 3 streets in total. There's not that many buildings. In the interiors, there's not that many. There's a few hidden shops. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 shops. And my interiors, there's another one. I did my interiors last. I did all these flags and decor and power lines before I did any interior because of plot data. So I wanted personally, I was going for the exterior first. If I was going to make this, if I was a role player and I was going to make this, I would have cared more about the interior and probably done more. But now that I have an interior, like you could use it as a role play city now. With 7 different shops, that's still a pretty good amount. Like this bookstore, I thought about making the real life version, which is this. Obviously, it's not. It does not look like this. I'm constrained on what I can and can't do in one plot. But a fun fact that J.K. Rowling based a lot of Harry Potter off of that library and a lot of Porto, so that's another reason it inspired me. It is a very, very beautiful city, but I love this build. I'm so happy that you guys love this build. It has meant so much to me. The amount of support and love I have gotten since that video and since showing this off. It's a little overwhelming sometimes to get DM'd pretty often now, but it's nice. Like, I really do appreciate it, everyone. And it means the world to me. Making YouTube videos is fun, so I hopefully will continue to do so. Final stats. This thing, 2.7 million, almost max plot data, and it took me about 2 weeks to build. I really am looking forward to seeing anything you guys create. I'll see y'all later.